and then I can email that to you. But also to Mitch, would you be happy to share it onto Sherri's page and onto her business page? Like, where would you like it shared, Sherri?
Onto my profile.
Your Sherri. Personal profile?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want it? So Mitch shares for me onto, like, it comes up automatically on my personal profile from Zoom, and then Mitch shares it to my business page and also into my group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a business page as well, which is Sherri. It's Essential Spending Planner.
Mitch, would you be happy to take care of that once you've shared it into my spaces?
Yeah, sure thing.
Awesome. That'd be great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And like the video, the thing will be there anyway to share at any time. It's just the thing is that what we'll just mention is that I'm going to be monitoring the comments if we get any on my personal profile. We're not actually getting very, like previous weeks we haven't had a great deal of them because I've only been doing this for a few weeks. I think you're my third person to interview.
Okay, yeah.
Can you,
yeah, we had that done a few months ago. I know the sound.
Oh, and look, honestly, normally I'd be like jumping for joy, but I'm like, it's nearly 10 o'clock, guys.
Yeah.
Because I asked them to do this section first. And it sounds like they haven't my head.
Hopefully they haven't set to daylight savings.
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, they're right over my head.
Yeah.
Let me try my headset and see if it sounds better. Okay, let me swap across the audio. Okay, they've now stopped, but we'll see if this, it's really quiet here at the moment, but we'll see if using this, I try not to do recordings with the headset on because it looks ridiculous, but if it means that we get a better sound today, then we'll just run with it, I think.
Yeah.
Until my headset goes flat because I haven't actually recharged it today. I didn't expect to use it. Anyway, we'll just see how we go. Okay, they're working right above me now. Is the sound better for you than it was?
It's still coming through.
Is it as strong though?
Oh, it's muted a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't do anything more about it. I literally asked them to come and do this section first for exactly this reason.
Maybe they thought it was at 10 o'clock that you told them to do it.
Tell you what, this sort of stuff really frustrates me, but you know,
yeah,
I can't do a great deal about it. I'm sorry.
It will be imperfectly perfect, like I always say about my webinars.
Exactly. I'm just going to start setting up in the background to go live onto Facebook because that takes a little while.
Okay.
Do you do that with your, sorry, yeah?
I'm just going to turn the air conditioner on in this room because I let it off because and you can let me know if you actually hear it, if that's going to be a problem, because I'm sitting here melting.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. Compared to my noise, it's going to be nothing, believe me. Diane? It's 3 minutes to 10 and they're working right on top of my head when I asked them specifically not to. I need you off the internet, Diane, and I need that blue Ethernet cord, please. Can I have that blue Ethernet cord, please?
These feelings of stress remind us we're alive.
Oh man. I tell you what, they get really noisy, then really quiet, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're finished, but you know, we'll wait and see. Yeah. They've definitely moved away. It sounds like they're on the next section of roof, but maybe not. We'll wait and see. I'm still just trying to get Facebook to open in the background, so that we can go live.
And so, Mitch, are you sharing that with my profile and my business page, what she's sharing? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh.
But after, if in case, because I'll be sharing it via the via LastPass, which is I have access to Terri's Facebook. That's why I'll be able to share, just in case it will provide me or will encounter an error, like it will not show into the business page because we have bunches of pages in there. I will also ping you just after the interview.
Okay, that's great.
My goodness, this stuff's happening slowly in the background right now.
Yeah, it's not just probably your husband who's on, it's probably all the neighbors.
Yeah. Quite possibly.
No one's at work, so everyone's on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very faint.
Oh, okay. So long as it's faint, that's okay.
Yeah.
I can deal with faint background because in here it's like, you know, it's hard to think, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And it's 10 a.m. and Facebook won't do what it's supposed to do. I've got a blank Facebook screen at the moment.
Do I?
Thank you, my darling. Hello. What's that, Mitch? Sorry.
Yeah. Do I pop out of or?
Yeah, jump out, please, Mitch, and we'll just get this sorted here in the background. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you again later on.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to try closing down Chrome and just sharing again completely because it's just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Oh, now it says it's stopping the lives. Sorry about this, Sherri.
Oh, that's all right.
Last time that I hopped on, I set up the live stream from Facebook like at about 10:02. And then when I came back into it, because it was all sitting there ready to go, when I came back into it, it had dropped everything. And it basically had to start again. So, but my laptop is running slow. So it's just a bunch of things that are not running my direction right now. Anyway.
It's kind of symbolic to how it's Australia Day, and you know, we have a beautiful history, but it wasn't always perfect.
Absolutely. My husband is Indigenous, so today is a day of significantly mixed emotions.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet, all the media about it this year.
Yes. Yeah, which is, it's, you know, it's such a big topic. But I'm hoping it'll stay as another peaceful one. I think with COVID, it's helped people to kind of reshift a little bit. It's still a discussion I think that needs to be had, definitely. There's no question about that. But there seems to be a little bit of a shift in perspective.
Yes. And it seems like Australia did it better in 2020 when all that came up than America did. Yeah. Yeah, so, absolutely. You know. Yeah, how happy are you to be living in Australia these days? Yes. In fact, I'm posting a few Facebook posts. I did one because I became a citizen 2011, and then I'm going to be posting a video I made, a musical video that I made with my family.
Yes.
With an Australian song, so that's going up later.
Lovely.
Yeah, special day for me.
Yep.
I have 2 wonderful homes.
Yeah, that's awesome. America's an amazing place. I love it. I'm ready to start now, though. I've had quite a bit of time in the US, but you're from San Diego, aren't you, originally?
Yeah, all my family live up in Utah, up in the mountains. So
nice.
That's lovely.
I've been through southern Utah. Now, I hope I've got all the typing correct here, the spelling. Essential Spending Planner. I think this is right. Okay, we're ready. Let's go live and get this done. We'll see how we go here. So it should click over when you see it should show going live up in the top corner. There we go. We're alive. Right. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. And for you people in Australia who are watching, happy Australia Day. I hope it is a day of peaceful celebrations for everybody. For those of you who may or may not have been playing along at home, every Tuesday morning I'm doing a interview or a webinar with people. So it's 10 a.m. Tuesday chats. Once a month it's going to be me presenting a webinar, and every other week we're interviewing somebody. And today I've got Sherri Thompson Dumbrell from, oh man, I've mixed up your business name, Essential Spending Planner. I'm glad you've got your
Yes. Yeah, clue.
I nearly called it Spending Essentials. I'm like, no, that's not right.
It's that too.
So Sherri, please introduce yourself to everybody who's listening today.
Okay, well, first of all, happy Australia Day. This is a special day for me. 32 years ago this month, I came to Australia to marry my Aussie husband. And now 5 children later, and I'm a citizen from 2011. And so, yeah, so hopefully all of you will be able to celebrate in your own way. So I'm my husband and I have 5 children, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And yeah, and so that meant that I had to be really smart and wise with money in order to do that. And so I'm grateful being in Australia, because Australia actually made it easier, because coming from the States, you know, the keep up with the Joneses is really prevalent.
Isn't it?
And
yes.
I don't find that here. I didn't, you know, growing up and raising, I didn't see that there was really any competition, you know? And so that was a real blessing. And also home ownership was like reality here. And so, yeah, so by doing that, I became very money wise. And then, yeah, and then in 2013, I stopped budgeting because it was not working. I realized it was broken. And that's when I went online and searched and found about spending plan. It was originally simply budgets, and it finally worked. I finally started to save, and I finally started to achieve those financial goals because it worked. And so, yeah, so now as of 4 years ago, you know, my children are my youngest is 19, and they're kind of semi-raised. And so I just decided to give back to that village that helped me raise my children. And I just saw in the village, there was a lot of money stress. Yeah. A lot of people struggling because they were using a budget, a traditional budget. And here I had this gem that was just amazing that I just wanted to share. And so then I started Essential Spending Planner. I became a certified spending planner. And now I actually educate people about money because they weren't taught that in school. And I teach them the difference between a budget and a spending plan, which are some big differences, and that's why it actually works. And so basically I just educate, train, support, motivate, give accountability, which is really important when it comes to finances, because as adults, we really aren't accountable to anybody. And so it's good to have an accountability partner. And then I love to celebrate with them. Money becomes a fun topic with those I work with, because it works, and we achieve goals and do that. And so their goals become my goals. And so basically a spending plan has made all the difference in my family and those I help. And 2020 was not even an issue for us, because we had our emergency fund, or I call it the big bad wolf account. It protects us from his visits. And in 2020, he visited many people a lot of times, but absolutely. We were fine because we had preparation. Plus, I know all my bills are covered for the next 12 months. I don't have to worry about it because that's what are some of the benefits. And so, yeah, I'm just passionate about helping people live their best life, because money makes your world go round, or it makes it go pear-shaped. And there's no need to be stressed about money.
Yeah.
And spending plan totally eliminates that, because it's a forward planning future crystal ball of your future. It's not focusing on the past, budgeting focus on the past. And so it's a crystal ball of your future finances, so you can see you have enough money to pay all the things on certain days, what your bank balance is going to be on a future day, as well as a GPS to show you this is just what you do, just follow these steps. And you're able to automate your finances. And so I just don't, since 2003, since I started mine, it's just automated. And I just know money's going to be there, and it's just, everything gets automatically paid. And it saves a lot of time, because when I was raising the 5 kids, you don't have a lot of time. And so I can do my finances in under 10 minutes a week. And I have my boundaries. I know, I teach bank account structure to protect your money from you. And so it's just a real passion of mine to help other people know that there is a better way, and a way that, again, they weren't taught money in school.
Yeah, and it's amazing, isn't it?
Tell common sense about money, and sadly, it's not very common these days.
Yeah, it's interesting to see those people who, like you said, that financial literacy isn't taught in schools. It's not a standard subject. There's some some people who choose to go down that path. When my youngest is in grade 9, so we're looking at subject selections, and well, he's obviously chosen, he goes back to school again tomorrow, but even this, at the moment, they've got an agribusiness subject, but there's nothing like that's about all things agricultural businesses. It's not just money management or financial intelligence. And even when you go into the 11 and 12, the subjects are like accounting, it's tracking money. It's not so much the forward planning that it sounds like that you're doing with your clientele.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when I went to uni, I went to Brigham Young University online in the States, and in my business accounting class, we had to they gave us a business, and it was all based around having a farm and animals. And I'm thinking, I don't even know anyone who has because that was one of the questions, do you know anyone who owns a farm? It's like, no.
You do now.
Later, but I learned all about animals and the depreciation and all these things about animals. And as much as it wasn't the field I was going into, it taught me how to do all the bookwork and all the accounting for a farm business.
Yeah.
And it, and I can translate that into it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely important to get the practical stuff.
It's interesting, isn't it? 'Cause my family are farmers, that we breed cattle, and I haven't been part of that day-to-day business for the better part of 20 years now. I'm involved, but just very much on the sidelines. But the cycles within a farming business are so big and so unpredictable, because you've got droughts and external markets and things that you have zero control over. So if you can set up a spending plan within a business like that is going to cover all the bases, then it's probably honestly one of the most challenging, because of that, like extended, you breed an animal, and from the moment it's born, it's sold anywhere from, well, in our business, it's sort of 18 months to 3 years later, depending on, and what happens in that lifespan, whether you've got a drought feed or you can feed it on a fodder crop, whether the market that you're aiming into, what's happening with that market, because there's, I don't know, I've lost track of how many different markets you can sell into when it comes to even just to sell for carcass, let alone for breeding, or selling to other people for backgrounding. And it's very, very, very complicated.
Yes. Yeah, I find and like a spending plan would be perfect for that. I have, I work with people with their personal finances, but if they have a small business, they even love it as much or more for their small business, because it's a forward projecting. They can see that all their basic bills are going to be covered, but it also shows them you're going to have, at this point, you're going to have enough money to grow your business.
Yes.
And that's the problem, is sometimes small businesses grow their business before it's time.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between a budget and a spending plan. A budget focuses on income and expenses and focuses more on your income, where a spending plan is three-dimensional. It's expenses, because no matter whether you make a lot of money or a little money, you can be rich or poor.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's more on the expenses, then your income, and then the third dimension is timing. So we put the timing of all your bills and incomes in, and so it shows you your future bank statement. And so you can see it any day. Hey, I'm on track, or I have way too much in my bills account. Great. Do something.
That's a very powerful tool.
Yes, it is. It really gives you total control of your finances. There's no more guessing like with a budget, or that it's possible to pay your bills. It actually shows you how, and you know you can follow it, and it will. I mean, with money is logical. It's math. So you set up a plan and you follow that plan, you're going to get it. And most of my people I work with, they usually go on an overseas trip their first year, because that's one of their goals. You have to have a goal. Otherwise, you just waste your money on what you think you want. Where I teach them, you need to save money and be good with money so you get what you really want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you find, within my business is 10,000 Dreams, I help people to work out what it is that they want. Do you find that people come to you? I mean, the people I work for mostly are women in business who have been through, like, something has turned their world upside down. So whether it's a separation, perhaps it's something as predictable, although the way it affects us, things like our children going off to that next level in their life, so starting school, going to high school, and given that you've got 5 kids who have all been through this, you understand what I'm talking about. Like there's such a shift. Wow, that's awesome. Yes. My youngest is 14. I've got 2. We've got our kids are 14 and 18, so our 18-year-old is just moving. I think this week she'll probably know where she's moving to in Brisbane to go down there to go to uni.
That's exciting.
I'm near Toowoomba, so it's about an hour and a half drive. So obviously not a daily commute for her to go down there. And I think too, she's at the point where she wants to spread her wings, but it's just another shift. It's another, as you said, the parenting before, I remember you mentioning something about they're almost raised or something if that effect, like the parenting never stops, it just changes form. But when you've been a stay-at-home mum, or that you want to do that, and how can you manage that financially? How can you, the shifts? It's phenomenal, the shifts that our kids create in our life, I've found. And so, what do you find though, that some people will come to you and when you ask them what their goals are, they just go, I don't really know. I just don't want to have this.
Yeah. Some of them have no goals, and I say we need to have a goal, because if you don't have a goal, you're going to go down and get that daily coffee or that spontaneous spend, because you're not going to have a goal. And so I have a mindset course that I help them with, and it teaches them what they want. And I find a really powerful tool is I have a kind of little worksheet for them, and I ask them what they don't want. They have to look at their family and friends, say 5 people, family, friends, work colleagues, look at their lives, and in different areas, they have to say what they like about their life, or basically what they don't like.
Yep.
And so once we get a list of what they don't want, what kind of business or family or relationships or whatever, then we know it's just the opposite.
Yep.
And so that really helps them through that goal process, because just to say, what do you want, especially if they're a mother who's raised her kids and then she finally has some time, you're kind of because you're so used to serving other
people. I talk about the fact that before I had kids, I always was a really big dreamer, and when we chose to have children, my husband and I wanted one of us to be at home as a stay-at-home parent. And with the way that our work and careers were panning at the time when our eldest was born, I'm the one who became the stay-at-home parent. And I was very grateful to do that for 15 years. The difference that I found though was once it got to the point where I started to lift my head up and look around and go, oh, I can actually start to do something for myself. We had pulled our living back so much to survive and keep going within the income that my husband was generating. all those dreams, those massive dreams that I had, had all been sort of packed into a box and packed so tight that I couldn't even open the lid anymore. So I needed to really recreate everything. And I think that's, you know, a lot of, I hear that coming from a lot of people who have been a stay-at-home parent, who want to lift their head up and look around and go, I don't know what to do now. You know, what's the next thing? You know, because everything changes. Everything, a lot of, like one of my dreams was that I was going to snowboard competitively around the globe. You know, I haven't been on a snowboard for 19 years now. It's just kind of like, certainly if there's a master's thing comes up and I get back into some snowboarding, I might do it, but I'm not going to travel the globe doing that these days. It's just not a dream that I have. It's not relevant to who I am now.
Yeah,
so.
And I find people, especially the ones over 40 or over 50, they've kind of succumbed that they're not going to achieve their dreams. And I say, no. And so I help them awaken those dreams inside of them. I said, what is your dream? And one of them, they were a couple, they're in their 60s, and he was raised in Malta, but left when he was 2. And he had always had a dream to go back. And so it's like, okay, let's put that in. And a year after I'd been working with them, they won a 5-week paid trip to Malta.
That's
it's
beautiful.
like, it's a dream, you can do it. It's just, and the plan shows you, you put that in, hey, I want to do this. You put in all the expenses and all the income and everything. And it shows you by this date, you can do this. It tells you this is the date you can buy the ticket. This is the, you know, and so it really makes it come to reality. And like I tell them, anytime you want to go buy something, and a car is usually one, put it in your plan first. Because, and I say to my, you know, I have a lot of young single adult age kids, and I say the actual cost of the car is the cheap part.
Yep.
It's the insurance and the registration and the service and the unexpected services. I said, you need to put all that in first, see if you can afford it, and that will decide whether you can afford that kind of car. And so it's really powerful in future scenarios so that you can know if you can do something before you actually do it. Because usually with a budget, you just kind of go, you buy it, you close your eyes and hand them over the car thinking, I'll figure out where that money's coming. And you come home and then you realize that you've overspent.
Yeah.
Where with the spending plan, you can know that beforehand. It just brings peace of mind.
Yes.
And because it is all about the future, the past is the past. We can learn from the past basically with finances. We want to do better. I mean, what else do we learn? Is we want to be better. And so to have all these records of the past and track your money, the spending plan does not track your money. It's all about forward planning. At one point, we sit down to create your plan, and we create it. And I created mine in 2003. And I've just had to tweak it or adjust it as my family life changed. But basically, all my information's in. My plan rotates. It's always seen 12 months in advance. There's never January 1st. Oh, it's time to do a budget or monthly. I need to do my, no, mine is constantly current. And it takes, like I said, less than 10 minutes to monitor my plan, because I've already made those initial choices when I set it up. And so now I'm just following my dream. And when you make those initial choices, I'm helping them focus it around your beliefs and your vision and your dreams. You know, and so we start with just the basics, putting in the very basics, because I've had clients where after a few months, they lost their job. And it was easy to know, it wasn't an emotional thing. What are our basic costs? We already had that. We knew what they were. And so when and they had the big bad wolf. And so they could actually survive through that until they got it. And so it's all about having a plan. And it is just a plan. It's a plan. And then we get your bank account, once we're happy with it, get your bank account to do the same things that your spending plan is. And of course, you know, I teach bank structure, how to protect your money from you, because, you know, there's a good way to do it, that because we're never, chances of someone coming and stealing your money is very slight. The chances of you stealing your money or sabotaging your plan is very high. And so we set up the bank structure so that you can't steal from yourself.
Yeah, I get it. It's something that I was listening to your webinar last night actually about that, and some of the things that you were talking about in that, I'm like, yep, some of it I've got already set up for our family because of the spending habits that we have. You know, there's certain accounts that we can't access unless you go in, you know, and it just like self-imposed restrictions essentially, so that yeah, the money gets used in the way that you intend, instead of just, oh, that looks nice, and all the bright shiny items that, that derails us so often.
Exactly. Probably when I say to people, how much do you spend on food? It's amazing. Yep. Probably 50% of them don't have a clue.
Yep.
Oh, just I go shopping if I need. And it's like, okay, we need to get a boundary. We have to have boundaries. And so, you know, it's so important to have those boundaries so that you can spend your money on what you really want.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, have you got, so there's a couple of questions I've got before we wrap up at 10:30. Now this has been shared into my group and my personal page. Sorry, it's gone to my personal page, been shared to my business page and my group. And I think Mitch is going to share it into yours as well. If anyone's got any questions for Sherri, click back into the stream on my personal page, because, and I meant to mention this earlier, I'm sorry, but I'm actually monitoring that over here. It's why I'm looking across every so often, because I've got my iPad to keep an eye on comments, because we can't see that on this laptop while we're actually doing the interview. But Sherri, have you got a current offer that you'd like to share or to let people know about that's running in your business at the moment?
Yes, I offer a free financial health checkup. And basically it's a questions, it asks you all these questions to see if you're getting those benefits from your current budget or money management system. And then once you answer those, one, you'll see, and then you'll receive a free ebook, which will kind of go into a bit more depth of how the many benefits of a spending plan. And then once there, I offer a free 30-minute money chat, just to kind of see where you're at and see what your goals are, and to see if we can be a good match. Because there again, I literally hold people's hand for, have, you know, different services from DIY to 8 weeks to 6 months, depending on basically your mindset with money. And the thing is too, is I'm affordable, because people have a barrier with money. They think, you mean you want to charge me money to teach me about money? Yep. Yet we're always, you know, where we easily will go spend money. And so I basically look at your finances before I even kind of discuss that. Because yeah, I'm here to help. That's my number one thing. I'm here to help people eliminate stress. And so, yeah, so I do that free health checkup, which then comes with a kind of little ebook and a complimentary 30-minute money chat via Zoom.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. So one other thing before we wrap up, itchy nose. I'm sharing this into my Leaders in Business Facebook group, and today is Top Tips Day in our group. So have you got a top tip that you'd like to share with people today?
Hi, yes, a top tip, and this is what I basically I base my business on, is find out the money truths and be honest. You have to be honest about your money. And the way to do that is you need to save before you spend. Consumerism is always switching that around and telling us you deserve it now, spend. And then I saw a thing on the way to the airport once, a big billboard, and it said spend and then save. And I'm like, whoa, no wonder people are in such debt. No, we need to save. And then when you can spend, and that's what my clients get. It's like, wow, I was able to go and buy cash for a bed because my bed broke down, and I got $300 off because I had the power of cash. And so it is possible. We've done it, you know, and that's with 5 kids, you know. And so, yeah, money truths, if you learn them, they work. Truths work.
Yep, absolutely. That's fantastic. Well, we might wrap it up there, but thank you so much for your time today, Sherri. I really, really appreciate it. And I can tell with the way that you speak that you're so passionate about this, it's something that's, obviously you've lived it with your family and now you're sharing it with other people, which I think is really amazing. So when you, I will ask you though, once we hop off, to please post your link into the comments in wherever all the different places that this has been shared so that people can find you. And hopefully lots of people will take up that offer of you know, getting a little bit more structure into their spending so that they can achieve the goals that they're chasing.
That's right, because 2021 can be totally different from 2020. if you have a spending plan.
Absolutely.
The stress will be eliminated.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Sherri. And everybody else who's listening, I'll see you again at 10 o'clock next Tuesday. Okay, I've just stopped the stream onto the live. I'll pause. I'll stop the recording now too.